Good afternoon everyone, let us start. Remember we have been learning chapter 3 drainage system. Now I shall present on my screen. Last time we discussed about different types of Indian drainage system, and today we shall discuss about drainage system in India. Okay, classified on the basis of mode of origin and characteristics. Last time we learned that on the basis of mode of origin, nature and characteristics, the Indian drainage may be classified into Himalayan drainage and peninsular drainage. Now we shall read about the Himalayan drainage. Okay. So Indian drainage system consists of a large number of small and big rivers. It is the outcome of evolutionary process of three major physiographic units and the nature and the characteristics of precipitation. So Indian rivers are the outcome of the evolutionary processes, okay, of the three major physiographic units. Here three major physiographic units are mountains in the north, that is the Himalayan mountains, then plains and the plateaus, okay, as well as the nature and the characteristics of precipitation. Now let us read about the Himalayan drainage. The Himalayan drainage system has evolved through a long geological history. It mainly includes the Ganga, the Indus, and the Brahmaputra river basins. Okay, so you have learned in the previous classes also the Himalayan drainage consists of three major rivers. Those are the Ganga, the Indus, and Brahmaputra. Okay, since these are fed both by melting of snow and precipitation, rivers of this system are perennial. We know that rivers originating from the Himalayan mountains are perennial. That means contain water throughout the year, because these rivers are fed by melting of snow and from precipitation. And these rivers pass through the giant gorges carved out by the erosional activity carried on simultaneously with the uplift of the Himalayas. Okay, most of the Himalayan rivers form giant gorges. Do you remember what gorges are? See here, actually it is an ice valley, a very deep ice valley like this. Okay, and here the river is flowing here. Actually it is not like this. Okay, so this is what we call gorge, and I will show you a photograph. Okay, so this is an example, a photograph, okay, showing an example of gorge. See here, you are seeing vertical walls, okay, and the river is flowing here, and this is known as a gorge. Okay, so most of the Himalayan rivers form gorges. Besides deep gorges, the rivers also form V-shaped valleys, then rapids and waterfalls in their mountainous courses. Okay, so V-shaped valley, just see the photograph. Okay, so this is a photograph showing an example of V-shaped valley. Here it takes the shape of V. Okay, and one more photograph also here, and this is also an example of V-shape valley, and here the river valley takes the shape of V, like this. Okay, and river is flowing here, and this is known as V-shape valley. Then rapids, see figure number 3.3 as well as this one. Okay, see here some big stones are here, big rocks are here, and as the water flows down, then the water will strike these big stones and so it splashes the stone, and this is what we call rapids. Okay, just see here. Suppose this is the slope of the river valley, the river bed, and if a stone is here, okay, here is a stone, and when the river flows down, then the water will splash on the stone and will jump the stone, and this feature is known as rapids. Okay, and this is an example of rapids, a photograph showing rapids. So these are the important characteristics of Himalayan rivers in the mountainous areas. Okay, the Himalayan rivers form gorges, valleys, rapids, waterfalls. I think waterfalls, you are very much familiar with waterfalls. While entering the plains, they form depositional features like flat valleys, oxbow lakes, floodplains, braided channels, and deltas. Okay, so these are the important features formed by the Himalayan rivers in the plain areas. Okay, just see some photographs. So this is a photograph showing this oxbow lake. Okay, and see here, this is what we call oxbow lake. Okay, and so it is formed by the action of river. See here we have got the Meander river, and when the river is in flood, the river water may cut this area, this strip of land, and so this become a lake, and this is what I call oxbow lake. Okay, then here this is an example, okay, of floodplains. So this low-lying area, okay, this is the river, and this low-lying area is known as a floodplain. When the river is in flood, this area will be flooded. Okay, and so this is what we call braided channels. See here, the water channels are braided here, and this is what we call braided channels. Okay, and river meander, you know, the winding of the river. So this is mainly found in the plain areas. Okay, and in the Himalayan regions, the course of these rivers is highly tortuous, and but over the plain they display a strong meandering tendency. Just I have shown the photograph. Okay, the winding of the river, and shift their courses frequently. River Koshi, also known as Sorrow of Bihar, has been notorious for frequently changing its courses. The Koshi River brings huge quantity of sediments from its upper course and deposit it in the plains. The course gets blocked, and subsequently the river changes its course. Okay, so the Koshi River brings a lot of sediments from the mountainous areas. Okay, and that is why as see here, for example, this is the Koshi River, for example, and from the mountainous area it brings a lot of stones, pebbles, and sands and other alluvium. Okay, and this will fill up the valleys, and hence there will be flooding in this area, thus changing the course of the river. Okay, and as you see here, this is a photograph showing this batch of Koshi River, and here the course of the water is changing frequently. Sometimes it may be flowing here, sometimes it may be flowing here, sometimes it may destroy these banks also. So in this way, okay, Koshi River shifts its course frequently, and hence it is known as Sorrow of Bihar. Okay, so these are the important characteristics of Himalayan rivers. Are you clear? Any question from your side? Remember, Himalayan rivers are perennial. that means contain water throughout the year, because these are fed by the melting of the snow and from the rainfall. The Himalayan rivers form these gorges, rapids, okay, waterfalls. In the mountainous areas, in the plains, it forms meanders, oxbow lakes, braided channels, and so on. Okay, so these are the important features of Himalayan rivers. Next, we have the evolution of the Himalayan drainage. How were the Himalayan rivers originated? Okay, so there are differences of opinion about the evolution of the Himalayan rivers. How the Himalayan rivers were originated, about it we have different opinions. Okay, however, geologists believe that a mighty river called Shivalik or Indo-Brahma traversed the entire longitudinal extent of Himalaya from Assam to Punjab towards Sindh, and finally discharging into the Gulf of Sindh near Lower Punjab during the Miocene period, some 5 to 24 million years ago. Okay, so during the Miocene period, okay, that is between 5 to 24 million years ago, there was a mighty river called Shivalik or Indo-Brahma. Just see here. So during the Miocene period, there was a very long, okay, there was a long river, mighty river flowing here. Okay, flowing here. Okay, and the name of this river was Shivalik or Indo-Brahma. Okay, and it was discharging somewhere in the Lower Punjab, somewhere here. Okay, and the remarkable continuity of the Shivalik and its lacustrine origin and the alluvial deposit consisting of sand, silt, clay, boulders, and a conglomerate support this viewpoint. See here, now we have a mountain range known as Shivalik here. Okay, so here we have a mountain range known as Shivalik, and since this Shivalik, okay, consists mainly of these sediments of lacustrine origin, means derived from lakes, and the alluvial deposit consisting of sand, silt, and the clay, okay, and conglomerates. These support that, okay, it supported that there was a river. Okay, and it is opined that in due course of time, Indo-Brahma river was dismembered into three main drainage systems. In due course of time, the Indo-Brahma river was dismembered, fragmented, okay, into three main drainage systems. The Indus and its 5 tributaries in the western part, then the Ganga and the Himalayan tributaries in the central part, and the stretch of the Brahmaputra in Assam and its Himalayan tributaries in the eastern part. Just see here, in due course of time, okay, so in due course of time, this mighty Indo-Brahma river was dismembered, okay, broken into 3 pieces, one here and another here, and this section becomes the Indus River. Okay, this section becomes the Indus River together with the 5 main tributaries, and the middle one, okay, the middle one here, this middle section, so it becomes the Ganga River, and this section, the easternmost one, becomes the Brahmaputra River. Okay, so in this way, the mighty river Indo-Brahma was dismembered into 3 important rivers, okay, 3 major rivers. and the dismemberment was probably due to Pleistocene upheaval in the western Himalayas, including the uplift, okay, of the Potwar Plateau, that is the Delhi Ridge, which acted as a water divide between the Indus and the Ganga drainage system. So the upheaval of the this Delhi Ridge during the Pleistocene, okay, period. So about the Pleistocene and about the geological this time scale, we have to read physical fundamentals of physical geography. Okay, so this is the table taken out from the textbook Fundamentals of Physical Geography, and here Pleistocene, okay, is here, and that means between this is Paleocene. Pleistocene is here, okay, Pleistocene is here, so it is between 10,000 to 2 million years before present. Okay, so during the Pleistocene period, there was upheaval of the Himalayan mountain as well as the Delhi Ridge here. Okay, here during this time, okay, there was upheaval of the Delhi Ridge here, and because of this upliftment of the Delhi Ridge, Potwar Plateau, this section was broken. Okay, and thus separating this Indus River, from the Ganga River, and this Delhi Ridge becomes the water divide. Okay, it is a hill range, and the Ganga River is flowing here, and this Indus River is flowing here, and so this Delhi Ridge becomes a water divide. Okay, and likewise the down thrusting of Mulder Gap area between the Rajmal Hill and the Meghalaya Plateau during the mid-Pleistocene period diverted the Ganga and Brahmaputra system to flow towards the Bay of Bengal. So likewise here in this area, okay, here in this area was subsided, and this is what we call Mulder fault. Okay, so when this area is subsided like this, once it was okay, Bangladesh area was like this, but this area was subsided, and now it becomes a low-lying area, and because of this subsidence of this area, okay, the Brahmaputra River was separated from the Ganga River, as you are seeing here. See here. Okay, so here let us say this side, okay, let us say this side is the plain area side, and this is the Meghalaya side, and this section, okay, once the level of the lane was flat like this, okay, but however this section was subsided, as you are seeing here. Okay, as you are seeing here, this section was subsided, and it becomes this area becomes a low-lying area, and because of this subsidence or the faulting process, okay, the Ganga River was separated from the Brahmaputra River system. So in this way, the three Himalayan rivers were evolved. Okay, as you see here, the down thrusting of Mulder Gap area between the Rajmal Hill and the Meghalaya Plateau during the mid-Pleistocene period, that is around 1 million years before present, diverted the Ganga and the Brahmaputra system to flow towards the Bay of Bengal. Okay, so in this way, the three rivers of the Himalayan mountain system, that is the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra, were originated. Are you clear? Any question? Any question? Okay, just see, there was a mighty river. Okay, there was a mighty river here known as the Shivalik or the Indo-Brahma, and due to the upliftment of the Himalayan mountains, okay, and the upliftment of these Delhi Rees here, okay, the western section becomes the Indus River in its tributaries, and the middle portion becomes the Ganga plain, and due to the this faulting, okay, down thrusting of this area, then the Brahmaputra River was separated from the Ganga River. Okay, so in this way the great Indo-Brahma River was dismembered into three major river systems. Those are this Indus River, then Ganga River, and this Brahmaputra River. Okay, so this was how the Himalayan drainage originated. So if you don't have questions, so let us proceed. Now let us read about the river systems of the Himalayan drainage, and we have the Indus system. Okay, so the Indus system is one of the largest river basins of the world, covering an area of this 11,65,000 square kilometer. But in India, okay, it is only about 3,21,289 square kilometer, and a total length of 2,880 kilometers. The total length of Indus River is 2,880 kilometers. But in India, it is only 1,114 kilometers. The Indus, also known as Sindhu, is the westernmost of the Himalayan rivers in India, and it originates from a glacier near Bokharsu. Okay, the location is 31 degree 15 minutes north latitude and 81 degree 40 minutes east longitude in the Tibetan region at an altitude of 4,164 meters in the Kailas mountain range. Okay, so this is the source region of the Indus River. Remember, Indus River originates from a glacier near Bokharsu, and here just see here, okay, it is here, okay, this is the Indus River. This river is the Indus River, and it is originated here. Okay, it is originated from a glacier, okay, known as glacier near Bokharsu here, and from here it is flowing westward. Okay, and in Tibet it is known as Singhi Khamban. So in Tibet, Indus River is known as Singhi Khamban, or Lion's Mouth. After flowing northwest direction between the Ladakh and the Zaskar range, it passes through Ladakh and Baltistan. It cuts across the Ladakh range, forming a spectacular gorge near Gilgit in Jammu and Kashmir. It enters into Pakistan near Chilash in Dardistan region. Okay, so you may see again this map, physical map of India. Okay, just see here, originated from here. Okay, Kailash mountain range is here. Just these gray, thick gray lines are the mountain ranges. Okay, and it is flowing here through the Ladakh ranges, and okay, and it enters here into Pakistan. Okay, from here it is turning this due south. Okay, and so we have learned that this river flows northwest direction between the Ladakh and the Zaskar range, as you have seen here. Okay, Zaskar range is here, Ladakh range is here, and it is flowing through these mountain ranges, and enters, and here in Jammu and Kashmir area. Okay, here in this area here in this area it forms spectacular gorges, and it enters into Pakistan near Shilas in Dartistan region. Okay, here Shilas. Okay, here it enters Pakistan. Then the Indus River receives a number of Himalayan tributaries such as the Geog, the Gilgit, the Jaskar, Hunja, Nubra, Shigar, and Gasting, and the Dras. So these are the important tributaries of the Indus River in the Himalayan region. Okay, so let us see. I think this one is not a detailed one, and that is why. So you may cancel an LS, but we have one. Okay, here. So Gilgit River is here. Okay, so Gilgit River is here. Then Geog is here. Okay, and some others. Okay, some others important tributaries are here, and so this is the Indus. Okay. And finally it emerges out of the hills and near Attock, where it receives Kabul River on its right bank. Okay, Kabul River is here. Okay, Kabul River is here. So here this is the Kabul River. So Kabul River joins the Indus here at this point. At this particular point, Kabul River joins the Indus River. Okay, on its right bank, and the other important tributaries joining the right bank of the Indus are Kuram, the Tochi, the Gomal, the Bibwa, the Sangar. Okay, so these are the tributaries joining on the right bank. Okay, Gomal is here, Tochi, so this is Tochi, then Gomal or Gumal. Okay, and others are here. So here about the left bank and the right bank, just see here. Let us say this is a river flowing towards this direction. Okay, and if you stand downstream, if you stand facing downstream, then this side is the left bank. Okay, and this side is the right bank. Okay, so for example, this is a left bank tributary, and this is a right bank tributary. Okay, and the river flows southward, receives a Pansnut a little above Mithankot. Okay, Pansnut, what is the meaning of Pansnut? Pansnut is the name given to the 5 rivers of Punjab, namely the Saluz, the Bias, Ravi, Chenab, and the Zelem. Okay, so flowing the river southward, okay, a little above Mithankot, the river forms Pansnut. As you see here, okay, at this point, a little above Mithankot, at this point, the Indus River forms Pansnut. Here, 5 important tributaries of Indus are joining here. Okay, here we have the Saluz, then the Bias, then Ravi, Chenab, then Zelem. Okay, so these 5 main tributaries of Indus join at this point, a little above Mithankot, and this is what I call Pansnut. Okay, Pansnut. It finally discharges into the Arabian Sea east of Karachi, and the Indus flows in India only through Jammu and Kashmir. That is now only through Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Okay, as you see here. So finally, it's the river flows into. So this is the Indus, and here it forms a delta, and it flows into the Arabian Sea. Okay, as you see here. And you may see this map also. Okay, so it is started from this point, flowing northwest direction through the Jaskar and Ladakh range, okay, forming gorges, enters Pakistan, then flowing southward and met by this Kabul River and flowing southward. Here a little above Mithankot, it forms the Pansnat, okay, the joining of the rivers like Zelem, Chenab, Ravi, Saluz and Bias, okay, and again it flows southward and meets the Arabian Sea. And next we have some important tributaries of the this Indus River, okay. The first one is the Zelem River. The Zelem, an important tributary of the Indus River, rises from a spring at Verinak, situated at the foot of Pir Panjal in the southeastern part of the Valley of Kashmir. It flows through the Srinagar and the Mulder Lake before entering Pakistan through a deep, narrow gorge. It joins the Chenab at near Jhang in Pakistan. Okay, so we may have a look of this river. And here the Chenab. Okay, now we are learning about the Zelem. Zelem is here, okay, and it is here. The Zelem is here, okay, and it joins with Chenab here. So it is originated from a spring at Verinak, okay, situated at the foothill of Pir Panjal. Then we have the Chenab. The Chenab is the largest tributary of the Indus, and it is formed by two streams, the Sandra and the Bhaga, which join at the Tandi near Kelong in Himachal Pradesh. Hence, it is also known as Sandra Bhaga. And the river flows for 1,180 km before entering into Pakistan. Okay, Chenab is the largest tributary of the Indus River, and it is formed by two streams, namely the Sandra and the Bhaga. Okay, Chenab, and it is originated from here, okay, and so it is a part of the branch of the this tributary of the Indus River. Okay, let us see here. It is whether it is here Chandrabhaga. Okay, here I think we can see here two streams here. Chenab is here. So here this is the Chenab River, okay, and here it is. Here we have the two head streams of the Chenab River, the Sandra and the Bhaga, and that is why this river is also known as Sandra Bhaga. Okay. And next we have the Ravi. It is another important tributary of the Indus, and it rises west of the Rohtang Pass in the Kulu hills of Himachal Pradesh, and it flows through Chamba Valley of the state, that is Himachal Pradesh, before entering Pakistan and joining the Chenab near Sarai Sidhu. It drains the area lying between the southwestern part of Pir Panjal Range and the Dauladar Ranges. Okay, Ravi is another tributary of the Indus. So we may look this map once. So here this is the Ravi River, and this is the source region, okay, of the Ravi River. Okay, here we have the source region. Source region of Ravi River is here, and this is Ravi River, and here it joins the Zelem. And next we have the Bias, and the Bias is another important tributary of the Indus, originating from the Bias Kund near the Rohtang Pass at an elevation of 4,000 meters above the mean sea level. The river flows through the Kulu Valley and forms gorges at Kati and Largi in Dauladhar range. It enters Punjab plains where it meets the Saluz near Harik. Okay, just let us have a look okay, of the Saluz. And Bias. Okay, Bias is originated somewhere here. Okay, it is here, and somewhere here it joins with the Saluz River, and the name of this place is known as Harik. Okay, here we have a barrage also. A barrage is constructed here. And next we have the Saluz originate in the Raksas Tal near Manchorobar at an altitude of 4,555 meters in Tibet, where it is known as Langsen Khambab. Okay, so the Saluz is originated from a lake, Raksas Tal near Manchorobar. Just see the map, and here this is the Saluz River, and it is originated here from this area. Okay, Manchorobar is here, and from this area the Saluz is originated. Okay, and it is also known as Langsen Khambab in Tibet, and it flows almost parallel to the Indus for about 400 kilometers before entering India, and comes out of the gorge at Rhubarb. Okay, so it flows, this Saluz flows with parallel with the Indus River. Indus is here. Okay, so Indus is here, and this is the Saluz. So for about 400 kilometers these two rivers flow parallel to each other. Okay, and it passes through the Shipkila and the Himalayan ranges and enters the Punjab plain, and it is an antecedent river. The Saluz is an antecedent river, and it is a very important tributary as it fits the canal system of the Bhakra Nangal project. So what is an antecedent river? Do you know? So an antecedent river, actually this is the river being older than the landform. Okay, it cuts through the river which is older than the landform. It cuts through. Here Saluz is an antecedent river. Okay, that means the Saluz River is older than the Himalayan mountains. Okay, this river is older than the landform. This is what I call antecedent river, as it is formed in this way. Okay, just see this diagram. See here. Let us suppose this is the original land surface. Okay, and the river is flowing here. Okay, the river is flowing here, and this section, so this section has been uplifted. For example, let us say this section is the Himalayan mountain system, and this section is uplifting slowly, and slowly at the same time the river is also cutting downwards continuously, and that is why this river can cut the very high mountain ranges as you are seeing here, and thus the river, okay, thus this river is older than this mountain system, and this is what I call antecedent river or antecedent stream. Okay, so any question from your side? Okay, if you don't have questions, then let us stop here for today. Thank you very much for joining my class.